Hello, a warm welcome to episode 20 of 3 Minutes, a continuation of part 2 of the quantum prayer technique, Miracles, the Evidence 2. If God could bring about miraculous conception in the lizard, what more in human beings where he had a mission to ease the burden of our spirituality? Let me assure you, God can create an adult human being and make him or her appear seemingly from nothing right now before you and I. Nothing is impossible. The Lord himself said that much. In quote, I tell you that out of these stones, God can raise up children for Abraham. See Matthew chapter 3, verse 9. He meant it literally. But do you know why the Lord would rather let things happen through the regular channels, the principles he set forth in his universe? Some would faint and others die instantly if an adult human being were to suddenly rise from stones or drop from the sky. Although God can change the order of the universe at will, he created it to run on principle, on order. Can you imagine what would happen if he had to suspend the order of the universe each time a single person asks for a personal miracle? Let's take sunrise, for example. If you went late to bed and desired to sleep well into the next day, and so you asked God to grant you a longer night, if he did, the sun would say rise at 10 a.m. the next day for you, right? Now suppose somebody else wanted to start their day earlier, say at 4 a.m., and also prayed for the Lord to grant that. There would be absolute chaos in the world. So generally, the Lord allows principle to run its course, but he can and does have ways of manipulating principle to achieve a desired goal for those he wishes to bestow special blessings upon. And that could be you. He has already done that for me, and that is how I recovered from more than 35 years of multiple pathologies. This manipulation of principle in order to bestow grace on those whom he chooses is called miracle by the pathway of grace. And do not allow some degenerate spirit to hijack your spirit and cause you to begin to imagine that God cannot grant you your desire because of principle, because of natural laws. There are more ways he can do that than you can imagine. You do not know how entanglement, whereby an action in one place and time causes instantaneous effect in another place, regardless of distance. You do not know how it works. Whether you know it or not, the fact is that science has confirmed that it is for real. But for God to grant exceptional grace to a human being, the person needs to draw near to God. If you do, God will draw near to you. Certain forms of prayer, certain thoughts and actions ushers a person so close to God that he would manipulate principle in order to grant their prayers. That is what the quantum prayer technique is all about. If you are still thinking that it is not possible for God to wrought miracles in any form, at any time, and for anyone, including you, then I will let the atheists, those who don't believe in God, finish the job for you. Ask any convinced atheist if it is possible for something to arise from nothing. Most in that community are usually well informed of progress in the sciences. They will tell you without hesitation that everything you see in the universe, including all life, emerged from nothing. Where they are mistaken is that what they call nothing actually is something, the Spirit of God. But the scientists, who are mostly atheists, now call the Spirit of God fields, vacuum energy, and such expression. What they don't know is that spirit is abstract, is invisible, but alive and thinking, and causes things to happen without hands and feet, just by thought. Whatever God wishes to come into existence, he only has to say it, and it will come into existence and begin to obey the law he voices out. What the scientists call evolution is in reality the will of God. By the way, evolution claims that human beings emerged from bacteria, worms, and so on, but that is not true. A bacteria can evolve into a more efficient bacteria. A worm can evolve into a more efficient worm. A human being can evolve into a more efficient human being, but a worm can never suddenly become a human being. That is not how God has designed the world. There is nothing that you want that God cannot grant you if you know how to ask. The Lord said in the book of Luke chapter 11 verse 9, "So I say to you, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you." Chapter 10 continues, "For everyone who asks receives. He who seeks finds, and to him who knocks the door will be opened." All you need to bring about a conscious reception of what you want is to know how to ask, just as I recognize how to ask and my life changed. I'll stop here and conclude the discourse of miracles in the next episode. God bless. I am Dr. C. For comments, questions, visit our YouTube channel. You may also make use of the other contacts shown on the screen. Goodbye.